Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope you guys can all hear me. Yeah, I'm excited to be here with you guys. This is the first official game night for the Alice birthday airdrop. We have a bunch of stuff to go over. Let me make sure let's get some comments in here. Make sure that I'm actually people can see me. But yeah, I'm super stoked. If you guys are joining us, if Good Friday is something to celebrate, I hope you guys are having a good holiday. If not, that's totally fine. Also, we're always excited to have you guys join us. Especially, we understand that your time is valuable. So, I am Tassel, community lead here at M&A, and today I am joined again by George from TGV. Thanks so much for joining me.
Hey
Hey.
guys, thanks for having me again. It's great to be here for three game nights in a row. I'm having a lot of fun, and I pimped out my avatar a little bit more than the past, so I'm going to be stalking Tassel throughout the night, right? But it's been great. A lot of developments are coming true, and I hope everyone's having a great time with the anniversary stuff. It's great. Thanks for having me again.
Of course, it's always great to have you on here. Just an absolute wealth of knowledge, and I love picking your brain and for us to be able to kind of go over everything piece by piece. This is truly the highlight of what I do. I absolutely love these games. So we have an amazing event in store for you guys tonight that we're going to talk about. It's just a little bit later in the stream. We do have some other stuff that we'd like to just to generally discuss, like the airdrop, our new collection, the Alice Golden Pass, and all of that. But before we get too heavy into all of that info, I want to us to understand how to connect to the leaderboard. I do apologize to the OGs and the people that are a little bit more familiar with this, but as we always have new people joining, we want to make sure that we can have as many people compete in this game night as possible. So all right, so if you head over, I'll share my screen too, but if you head over to myneighboralice.com/rewards, it will take you to our website. Let me share my screen here. One moment. Okay, here we go. So here is the website, as you can see. And what you want to do to be able to connect to our leaderboard is come to here, and then you want to scroll down and click on where it says sign in. If you click on sign in, there'll be a couple different options for you to connect to our leaderboard. You can either connect through your socials like X or Facebook. You can click on, through your email or phone number, or your preferred crypto wallet like MetaMask. We offer a lot of flexibility for signing in. I'm not going to go ahead and I'm not going to sign in here as I'm already signed into the game. But what you'll notice is that in this bottom right-hand corner here, instead of saying sign in, it'll have your avatar name. If you see a string of numbers and letters, that's totally fine. It also means that you've connected correctly. It's probably just the first time that you've connected. And once you actually click on play and go into the game, and you name your character, it'll display your name there instead. And that's pretty much all there is to connecting. So what you will do is after you confirm that, you want to click on play in the upper right hand corner, and then click on play again. This will start loading the web GPU. Just a little pro tip here, guys. You want to make sure that it loads all the way in before you start clicking on any of these side tabs here, the market map, because it'll stop the actual web GPU from loading, and you'll have to start over. So just let it load all the way in, and then once you're in the game, then you feel free to click on any of these, because at that point it's completely loaded, and you can click on it at that point. Those are a matter of fact, it's important that you do click on those afterwards, because what you'll do is once you're loaded, you're in the game, you'll need to click on the rewards to be able to claim the tasks that we'll be doing for this game night. And it matters when you do the task, not just when you do it, but when you claim it. That's what'll decide your position on the leaderboard. So let's say one of the tasks is fishing, and you're the first person to fish out of the water, but you're the third person to claim the task. You'd be in the third position, not the first. So just make sure that you're going back to the rewards and clicking on the tasks as you're completing them. Yeah, and that's pretty much all there is to actually signing into the leaderboard. This is the most important step out of the entire process, because if you're not connected to our leaderboard, you can't participate in the airdrop or in this game night, because that's the main thing there. Also, we have, like I mentioned, that we have the Alice birthday airdrop going on right now, and there's a lot of really cool stuff. But one of the tasks, or one of the things that you can do if you want to earn additional points, is you can purchase land on the primary market. I figure while I have the website open here, I might as well just show you guys how to go about that. So when you click on market here, you'll notice that you have these four tabs at the top: lands, animals, items, and equipables. But there's a little bit of confusion sometimes between what's the primary market and secondary. Primary market is any land that's sold by My Neighbor Alice. Those are the lands that will qualify for the additional points on the airdrop. The secondary market is any lands that are sold by a player. So if you were to buy a land and then you were to sell it, what you'd be selling it on is the secondary market. So what I do, just to make it easy, is that you can click here where it says filter, and these filters here give you a lot of flexibility in how you for how you want to set things up. So for instance, if you click on primary, now it's only showing land that's on the primary market. So there's no way you can accidentally click on a land that a player is selling. And then there's some, and I highly suggest that you guys check out the website and navigate around and play around with it, because everyone has different reasons for why they might want to buy a land. Some people might want to buy a land next to their friend. Some people might want to be in a nice populated area where they are, around neighbors. But other people, they might want to be in a more secluded neighborhood, so they pick it away from players. Or maybe you want to have a soil quality that's kind of higher, so you can get higher yields when you're farming. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about how these filters work. So I suggest playing around with that and seeing how you go. Alrighty, well, that's about it. We do have a real cool event store for tonight, but while we do that, we should probably load into the game and meet in Lumenstead. So I will go ahead and share my screen in the game as well. Let me go back to this for a moment. So you have been playing around a little bit with the game now, like you said, changing your character up and doing that. I know what my process is like. I always load into the game, and first thing I do is say hello to everyone if I'm not too busy, and then I start my crafters, and I water and collect resources. But what's your process like? I'm just curious.
To be honest, I normally go to the marketplace first because I'm trying to buy cosmetics. So while we were speaking, I was buying a pig suit, and I'm trying to see if I can equip it.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's
for
awesome.
example, yeah, that's like, for example, that's usually the case. So sometimes I'll look at what's being sold on the secondary. Some people want to let go some of their stuff, and then I'll pick it up. Then the second thing I'll do is to see if my neighbors are selling their land, because I'm trying to increase my estate, right? So I managed to buy two plots next to each other, and then I'm trying to, like, I'm hoping they start selling. So, if you are a neighbor of mine, please feel free to sell it to me so that I can expand my estate. But yeah, I've been doing that. Then I go into the game. That's me there. Um, Yay, man. Yeah. So that's me. I haven't changed into the pig suit yet. I need to go to the wardrobe to do that. But yeah, and yeah, that's my usual thing. Then I go into each of my land and kind of like farm out all the materials. That's the thing. I think I'm a hoarder. I hardly build anything. I'm fine just collecting the material and stop. That's it. Like, and then that's my day, and then I get off, and then I'll do that again the following day. So that's my process, right? I'm really just collecting resources for one day where I'm going to terraform my entire estate and just build.
Yeah, yeah, and it's interesting because everyone does have a different reason. Like me, I remember in a previous stream you mentioned that you like to purchase from the off the marketplace because you'd rather buy resources than actually having to go out and collect. I feel like that's a really strong. I mean, I do that exact same thing. That's me as well. I will purchase every single time over going out and collecting it myself. I can be extremely lazy because, for one, I like to incentivize the economy. I do want those items, and I do want to help out a neighbor. But at the same time, I'm just a little bit lazy when it comes to collecting resources sometimes, and I just want to someone spent all that time doing it. I feel like they should be rewarded for you can take it.
Yeah, I think you go through phases. When you want a chill day, you go and farm resources. When you
Agreed.
want to build something, you might, like, you know what, someone's did the work. I'm just gonna buy it from you, and that's cool. I think that's something that Web3 games provide. You provide incentive for people's effort, and you can reward them for their time and effort as well. Because time is money, and most people, and in games, don't realize time. The player's time is very important, right? And
Definitely.
that's the kind of way the community rewards each other.
So I just want to, yeah, definitely. I just wanted to look at all these people here. There's quite a few people in game right now. I absolutely love seeing everyone here. We got Rock and we got the Cupcake. We There's just so many different people that are all rocking here. There's you know everyone collects here and stuff, but I want to also tell you guys a little bit about some general processes that you can do. So what you want to be able to do in order to get around in My Neighbor Alice, if this is your first time and you're like maybe you're not as clued into some of the people, if you push M, it'll pull up your map, and this is basically how you can travel to all the different locations. The This time we're going to be doing another kind of like maze style event, but it's also kind of with a twist. And we are giving away 2,500 Alice to the top 50 positions on the leaderboard. Where the higher you are on the leaderboard, obviously the more Alice you get, and all the in descending order all the way down. But I want to give people, and then there's two tasks that you need to do. One is fishing, and one is singing to a plant. Some people are probably familiar with this format because we've used it before. But I keep changing things up to make it interesting and fun as we go around as well. So what I'd like to do is to show people kind of how to do these things first, and then there might be a little bit of jumping this time. So I want you guys to understand how the jumping mechanic works. So if you push M for map, this will allow you to type things in. You can see all the lands that you have, whether they're trial lands or just different. There's a bunch, right? And then the town hubs are at the bottom, so you can always get to those. Ones are automatically saved. But if you want to go to, so we're going to be practicing these tasks ahead of time on one of my plots. So if you guys can meet me at 308 9410, I'll go ahead and link this in chat as well. So you guys just need to click it out of the chat. There it is. And go to this land, and we can practice first. I want to make sure that everyone's on the same page when they do this, because it makes it so much more fun when everyone's competing. And all you have to do is hit the enter, and it'll allow you to click on any of these in here. So you click on the land, it'll pop it back up, and then you can just travel to it. We've been talking a bit and kind of going and stuff. I'm just curious to know from your perspective, just casually, because we're both kind of lifelong gamers. We've both been playing forever, like from the conversation that we had. But what do you think that most people, or what do you think most is the most misunderstood thing about a Web 2 game versus a Web 3? I know you've been in the industry even longer, for a long time, so.
I think that I think the problem with the well, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but I think that the most misunderstood thing for Web 2 and Web 3 games is that most Web 2 players think Web 3 is evil. Because I think it built that image that it's pay to earn, one of the key things, right? And then and to be honest, I think there is also an element of a lot of Web3 games who have focused on developing the there's this term called GameFi, right? And then it's like game and financial. I am not a big fan of that term because it sets the wrong expectation, right? And a lot of times there has been, unfortunately, My Neighbor Alice is really one of the exceptions, but there has been many times games were built where the financial aspect, but the game aspect was not considered. So early impressions of games was it's just financial, and they didn't focus on gameplay, right? So I think that has set that expectation. So they are not even giving it a chance, because if you think about it, almost every Web 2 game has a form of a currency and assets, right? And trading, they have marketplaces to trade as well. Experience is not the same. The only difference Web3 provides is the tangibility of transactions, tangibility of trading between players. Like I remember playing Black Desert, right? And I grinded the crap out of that game. I spent like, I think it was 600 hours before I stopped, and it was within like 4 months. I did that with Elder Scrolls Online. I did another 600 hours there, and there were marketplaces in Black Desert Online. People were actively selling. They were grinding the hell out of it, and they could only trade within the system, and people are fine. So it means that trading is something that people do want, and they spent a lot of time doing that. But now we just add the component of tangibility. So, I can tangibly trade you. Like I bought the pig suit from a guy for 15 Alice, and I'm wearing it now after I went to the salon. And that transaction occurred immediately. I don't even know how he got it, but he obviously, maybe he made money, maybe he didn't, I don't know. but I'm glad he sold it, and I actually own it now. And that tangibility is something that people want. And Utopia is being able to transfer your assets between games, right? So the benefits, I think, the most misunderstood is the actual benefits of what Web3 brings to gaming. I hope that changes, which is why I hope that we will never have to call it Web3 gaming. It's just gaming, right?
Yeah.
And you have the tech, and the tech works for you. I hope the gaming industry and gamers see that one day. And I think that's why I find a lot of joy playing like My Neighbor Alice, right? Because it's a game first. I think I really want to highlight to a lot of people. It's a game first. The team, like yourself, you were a fan. You came into the game because you enjoyed the game, and you didn't come here to make money. And I think that's a pretty important thing. That means the game's worth playing. And that's what you can't say that a lot about other Web3 games. I think you need to re-log in, man, because your
Yeah, I'm
land's
actually doing it right
packed.
now.
Maybe
Yeah,
loading in is a bit much for you because I see everyone just running around. I think they're already kind of practicing and
yeah,
fishing.
yeah. No, that's great. If you guys are there, I mean, I set it up so I know exactly what's there. So feel free to play around on the trampolines you can see there. Try to get to that top level. And start spamming that space bar while you're on there. I'll show it to you again too. I just had needed to shut this down or whatever. I got hung up or something. So no big deal. I'll be back in a second. I'm already loading back in. But yeah, no, that's it's interesting, because the perception of games is such an important aspect to whether it's adopted or how how people interact with the game, and you kind of you have to set an expectation of what you want in a game, and when you have it separated between like Web 2 and Web 3 and stuff, you're automatically drawing this invisible line that makes it difficult for a certain group, some people to adopt to it, and
Yeah.
it's really fantastic what you can do. So all right, so I am heading back over there. Just one moment. I'll share my screen in just a moment. But yeah, no, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think that for those who are probably not in the gaming space, but it's really a golden time for games. I think a lot of people are looking at the market and thinking that gaming is bad, but actually gaming is doing pretty well, especially indie games, especially smaller games with strong niche communities.
Oh yeah.
I feel we're not bullish enough on the gaming industry just because somehow Web3 games are so tied to crypto and token, and they automatically assume a game's not doing well just because the crypto market is not doing well, right? So I hope gamers understand and change. A game is as good as the community, right? And as people who love playing it. It's not about what the token is like. Token just is a vehicle for you to transact, and that's about it.
Definitely. All right, I'm back in here. Let me share this with you guys. Just one moment.
If this is your practice, I think the jumping puzzles are gonna be hard.
No, 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 no. It'll be easy. I got you guys covered. I'll show you exactly what to do. And there's an important key here. I spaced these all out, these plants out. So I'll show the jumping last. I see the people that know what they're doing already over there. But in order to sing, those are two tasks. One is fishing and one is singing. So this is pretty simple. All you do is hit R to bring up your action wheel. And if you want to sing to a plant, you need to go to your flute here. It's in the bottom left. You click on it, and you can see that it's highlighted. I can't sing to this because this is my land, but everyone else can. And all you would do is once it's highlighted, is you would just left click, and it would sing. You'd notice a little yellow circle would be going around that to indicate that it's being sung to, and that's it. That's as simple as it is. And sorry, at which point you would go back to the leaderboard and claim the task. So that's kind of the process. So do the task, go claim the task, so that you can rise up on the leaderboard. And then for fishing, same process. You push R to bring up your action wheel. The fishing pole's just straight up on the top of the circle, and you mouse over the water until you see the little green highlighted area. Left click, it will cast it in the water. Now you're just waiting for the yellow exclamation point to pop up, and you're just going to left click and hold and follow the fish with your mouse. So you go left click and hold, follow the fish, and there you go. So that's it. I'll just demo it one more time. just so you guys know what's going on. Uh-oh. Got an error there. I don't know if that fish counted. Good thing I'm going to show it again. So push R, click on the left click on the fishing rod, mouse over the water, left click. Oh, it's the action is still in there. Sorry about that. Okay, well then I did catch the fish. Okay, so it just took a moment. R, fishing rod, mouse over the water, and left click. It's always when you're on stream that you get the the hiccups.
No, it's just too many happening at the same time. It is, if for those of you who don't know, it is kind of a blockchain transaction happening because it's the fish is an actual asset, right? So
Yes.
it does take a little bit of time, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's that's another thing too, right? That it's tech baked in here is interesting. So now I wanted to go onto the trampolines because jumping is part of this challenge that we will be doing. So if you just walk onto a trampoline, you'll just automatically start bouncing, right? But you will never get higher than this unless you tap the space bar when you're at the very bottom, right when your feet touch, and at which point you'll even bounce higher. But for some people don't have that great timing, or maybe it's delayed or any of that. What I do is I just spam the space bar. So I just tap it a few times when I get to the bottom, tap it a few more times, and you'll notice that you're getting higher and higher on here until you reach the maximum height. And that's pretty high. So, and then so I suggest that everyone who's that's not familiar with this, and anyone who doesn't know what they're doing, to come over here to the trampoline. There's another one on the side here, and just like what I'm doing, just spam your space bar, and you'll just get higher and higher until you can get up to the top. That's an important mechanic. So I definitely suggest that everyone give that a shot, so that they can feel a little bit comfortable bouncing.
Yeah, I found spamming it works better you know, than anything else. I
Yeah, if
can't
you're trying
time
to
it.
time
You know,
it's some people are fantastic at the timing though. Like
I
I
know. I've seen them. I've seen them in the last challenge. They're like, it's pin perfect. The guy is not spamming his spacebar at all.
yeah. And one other thing that's important to know is that so there is a maximum height on these ones. So like you'll never get beyond a certain height, right? So here, but if you're jumping from higher, you actually can get it will bounce you back up. So for instance here, it does get you all the back up, but I didn't hit the space bar in the right timing. So let's see if I can do it.
Do you have to spacebar as well for that?
Yeah, but I'm trying to I'm controlling it with my thumb and then moving with the mouse and stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a little
Totally get it.
cumbersome for me to do it. All right, well that delay took a little while. I just want to make sure that everyone is on the same thing. I don't see any reason to not get this event started. This is a maze style event, like I said, and where you need to fish on the plot and you need to sing to a plant. Make sure that you guys are claiming the task right away. This is worth 2,500 Alice that we'll be giving away to the top 50 on the leaderboard. And I'm going to go ahead and share it now. And then after 1 minute, I'll let everyone loose. But without further ado, here is the plot ID. If everyone can meet, I'll share it also in game so that you guys can just click on it. But it is at 500-9045. 500-9045. I'll go ahead and click on it, and I will share this in the chat as well. Just did an update on my computer. I'm wondering if maybe that's why it is having some issues here. I normally don't have issues like this, but there we go. It's in the chat. Go ahead and meet me there, and then once we give people a minute or two to load in, then I'll remove the barricades and we can all get started.
Yeah, it's taking a while to load. I think there's just so many people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people on right now, and
which is great. I mean, thank you guys for joining us, and girls, of course, for joining us on a holiday. Your time is greatly appreciated, and it is taking a while even for me. And I'm using two different devices, right? I'm using one for the stream and one for my gaming, and it's great.
Definitely, I completely agree with that sentiment. Like you guys, this is a holiday, and it's we got a really good turnout, and everyone's it means a lot to us, and we understand that your time is valuable.
I'm curious though. Have you experienced the Alice Golden Pass yet?
Yeah, yeah, I have. That's why. So you might notice that on my name it has the little the nameplate with a specifically in chat. That you can only have that if you purchase the Alice Golden Pass and equip it. So it's really cool. So there's a lot of cool features that you get from it. First off, you get increased experience and extra Bjorn from all quests. You have reduced fees from the in-game marketplace, and you have quicker time crafting times. So there's a bunch that's baked into it. It's really cool, especially for some of the people that like some of the OGs that are really like have these like mega farms. You can tell that they're they're really utilizing it because they've been gaining levels really quickly. I've noticed all of a sudden. Yeah, it's really neat. I'm really enjoying seeing how people are utilizing it, and there's a lot more to come for that too, guys. By the way, I'll give this
Yeah.
just a few more seconds to see if it loads in because it sometimes it does take like a little while when it's really when it's congested, and it still loads. But if it takes any more than like another 45 seconds, I'll go ahead and jump out and jump back in again. I do apologize.
Yeah, I had to jump out to the Lumas that I've never been able to pronounce it well. But
Yeah.
yeah, I had to jump out there. I think restarting is good. There's just like too many people today. Look, we ain't complaining about too many people, but
No,
that's what happens when you have a lot of people in game, right? Um, yeah, but I think if you can jump out to Lumastad, yeah, that actually helped. It freed up bandwidth a little bit. Now I'm gonna try and travel in as well. Yeah, I was gonna buy the golden pass during the stream today to try it out. I've been waiting, I because of all the tasks, right? And I kind of
Mhm.
get lost, so I'm kind of like I wait for the stream, and then like I'm gonna pick up a plot of land in a bit, and I'm gonna pick up. Assuming I'm still wondering if I should like get land in like a different biome, like I've been buying like all these the plots side by side, or been trying to, but yeah. Oh man, everyone's like just waiting at the door. It's packed. It's packed.
Well, that is a good thing. I'm trying to load in right now. I just give me a moment here. But yeah, it is the golden pass is really cool. It's definitely a feature that people have been asking for, and it's just really cool to actually get to see it. For the different, you mentioned different buying in different biomes. I honestly, that's one of the cool things. Oh, cool! I'm loaded in. So 1 second here. Let me add to.
Let's let everyone in, then we can keep chatting because they're
Oh, of
all
course.
waiting.
No, yeah, that says we're blocked in here on purpose. I put it
Yeah, to
so let
stand
me.
by, right?
Yes, exactly. 1 second. There we go. Cool. All right. I'm not gonna stop you guys. You guys go have fun. So I will unlock it right. 3, 2, 1. It's unlocked, guys. Enjoy. Good luck and Godspeed. I'll go ahead and put it in the camera view so that I can actually see what everyone's doing too, so we can. Um,
Yeah.
I would suggest you guys just beeline it to try to get to the end. There's a lot opens up when you've made it to the end, so just enjoy yourself, but have fun going through here. Let me hide that. And
Did,
oh,
did you make this?
actually, this was a community created course. This was created by one of our OGs. His name is Blood Moon, or AKA Nathi, and he put this
Nice.
whole thing together. Absolutely wild. He even has a little section here where it says maze.
Oh
And
wow, that is crazy. Shout out to the creator. And you
seriously,
even
right?
spelled out maze. That is insane. Oh wow. I'm amazed at some of the creators in the game, like to make mazes. But I'm curious. I'm gonna ask this, right? Since we're looking at it right now, it
Sure.
does seem like maze creation is a big thing in the Mini Alice community. Like, is was this organic? Did someone start like let's start making things as difficult to access as possible, or get things to get lost? Like, how you've been around the longest in community? Like, how did this technically start? You know?
Honestly, it probably started off. Well, I mean, it started off completely organically because when we were a little bit more remedial and we had less features, it was one of the things that you could create with when you were landscaping. That it was like a feature, and it just kept getting as we started increasing features and adding more items to the games and just all of that. That's when it kind of took off because like people said, well, I still want to make a maze, but I want to do it with two plots, or I want to make a maze, but I want to make it themed. Or I want to. I've seen a maze that was like I said, it was like a dragon. One of the parts of the maze was the dragon, and the other part was the fire. I've seen people do like 2D, 3D art from high. I've seen people create QR codes with their land. But people are just so creative and how they utilize their land and so but yeah that's how it all started I at one point I created like a little kind of maze and I remember some of the this is back when I was just part of the community and they're like oh but it's too close together like you can't see where you're going and I was like that's a really good point. I should open this up a little bit and someone said well look this is how I did mine if you make it at least 3 tiles wide you get really good viewing angles and the team fixed the camera and then they had that as well and it just kept building and building and now it's just kind of part of our culture I would say like mazes is just part of it. It's I mean we do have the cozy thing but then this is probably one of our less cozy things because it's a little bit more let's get
Well,
to the end and do
it's
it.
I would say building this might have been cozy for the guy who was building it, right? The creator who was building it. But I have to say, like this, how big is this? Is this like 4 plots?
No, this is
Oh,
actually this is just a single plot. This one is just one.
really?
Yeah, this is just one plot right here. We've done singles, doubles, triples, and stuff. But like, and there's another one that was created by somebody on the other side over here. We had a competition back in I think it was last September if I'm remembering the correct month, and where we awarded the best maze the creators, and we got really good turnout where there was people, and we awarded one, two for each biome. So two for Tourney Worlds. This is Tourney Worlds, by the way. Two for this is before Gloomy Gulch. Well, maybe it was out. But anyway, like we just two for each one, and this is one of the winners here. He won because of just how creative and nice, like I have to alter these just slightly, but I never like take away the bones of it. Like this is 100% Nathan's creation, and he did an absolute fantastic job.
Well, I mean, one thing that I do like is that the land size is massive. Like,
Uh-huh.
I think in terms of Web3 games that has land, I think My Neighbor Alice is arguably the largest single plot of land, which I think is I kept thinking this was 4 plots. So you can imagine my instinct was like, oh, this is the size of 4 plots of land, right? And when
Yeah.
you told me it was one, I am somewhat mind blown. Like I have like two connecting ones, right? And it just never occurred to me that that's actually the scale, you know?
Yeah, I
So
backed out here for you to see it too. So like as you can see here, so this is obviously everyone's on this lower right hand corner, but this would be 4 plots. The it would be that's 4 plot, and they're
that's
absolutely massive.
crazy. That's
Yeah, and
massive.
they are massive too. So I think they're 100 by 100 tiles. So I think it's 10,000 tiles total between like yeah, that's it's so much. I mean, that's what this game's about though. It's about self expression and creativity and being able to just like change the land how you want to and so you don't want to give people on the sides you want to give them as much area to play with as possible because this is only possible because they have this much land to play with.
I mean, it's a great canvas, right? Because I guess that's also a testament. Like, if you are giving people so much real estate, then you don't need like a big investment to have your own space and build it up and kind of put it on the blockchain. I think that's okay. I mean, I've had the land, but it's a different thing when you see it in scale and it's built up. Like you get a real sense of size with this particular maze. Even the rest of it, I don't know if I checked on how many plots it was, but I'm still kind of blown away. It's just one. Like that's amazing. Good
Yeah,
job.
and you can tell too with the where people get really creative when they start having they add like some really cool verticality in the way that they create. Like
Mm,
this is not just I mean look at it it's very much you feel like you're in a maze here and so it has a good atmosphere. Yeah, it's going up and down and it's twisting around. There's trees and rocks and grass and like it's a very very well done. I can definitely see getting confused, and I mean it's a maze, right? It's supposed to be a little to be a little not what's the word it's supposed to feel like you're in a world, and that's exactly what it does. You feel like you're in this land, and I don't know. I just think it's amazing, and I think that
I
Navy does a really good work too.
Yeah, I think that what's impressive with a lot of the builds you've showcased so far was that which I've seen is that the community seems to have good use of verticality, because I've obviously worked with many different creators in gaming space with other projects as well, and I think a lot of people struggle with verticality, and some of the more interesting games that have been built over the past few years, actually, even indie games have made good use of verticality, because that's something that's, I would say, not natural. We live in a very, level world, so to speak.
Yeah,
Of course, we have high buildings, but individuals don't naturally think about building up. So I know it's a subtle thing, but it is a pretty, when it comes to creators and builders, it's something to think about. If you are, you bought your first plot of land and you're starting to build your own maze, and you may think, oh, I don't have enough real estate. But when you look at a plot like this, where there's so much verticality, it's great. I mean, I think I want to encourage people more, to build stuff like that. Which is why I've always been telling people I want a version of only up in one of these games. We need to challenge the height of the land, right? Like that would be very interesting if we just kept building all the way until it hit the limit of the game. I don't know if in your experience, has it been built much higher than this?
yeah. I mean, well, I don't. I can see some land even in the distance that look like they are a little bit higher up than this one, but this one pretty close to max height in terms of how many tiles you can build up. I think that's why they kind of wrapped it around so that it was kind of included in just around the shell, and then as you go deep into it or whatever, that's where the really good use of the layers has come in. Because I mean, even when you get down to this level, I mean, you can see that you're not like you're pretty close to the ground here, but then as you kind of work your way around, you're getting back up to the height. And the way that this one was created, the only change that I really made to this land at all was that once you made it to the end here, I have little cells of where the plants are located, so you can see the plants that you're supposed to be singing to all the way through the maze, but you can't actually get to them until you make it to the end.
Mm,
So like
wow, that's
you can
such
see.
a tease. That's so bad.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like like the plant here, like you're literally one tile away from being able to sing to it, but you can jump in here if you make it to the end, and then you can bounce right out with the trampoline. Like I wanted it to, I wanted it always just out of reach, so that people are trying to get to it.
Wow. I mean, yes, that's kind of bad, but I get what you mean. It's not a challenge if you want a little bit bad, right?
Yeah, well, and it's also I thought of it like this that it rewards people to get to the end, and then they get to explore areas that were kind of that they couldn't get to originally. So it kind of, even though like you were talking about, like this is only one plot, but they had to race through the whole plot just so that they can get into these other areas. So it extends the value of this plot. It's much
Yep.
more useful to it's like you get to the end, and then it's like, you ever play like video games where they're always teasing something until you get that next feature, like a Metroid game where it's like, oh, I could get through that door if I just had the rock blaster. And then by the time you get the rock blaster, you have to remember to even go back and to go back to that area. That's kind of
Yeah.
what my thought was. These like
Yeah. That's true.
Metroidvania.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, and I thought of highlighting if you think about it, the other thing that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to building up land like this is it actually takes a fair bit of resources, right? Especially if they were to decorate it, they were to plant things. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Um, I can't imagine how many hours they, had to grind, right, to actually build a substantial land, especially if it's very well decorated.
Yeah, I mean, this one right here is obviously not decorated very. This is kind of more just the aesthetic of the land. So
Yeah.
this would have only taken the landscaping tickets.
Yeah.
And then of course the plants that I put all throughout the course. But the in general, yes. I mean, if you, I mean, there's 10,000 tiles here, right? So in theory, I mean, minus the resources, you could have pretty close to 10,000 items if you had an item that was a one by one tile. Um, and I've seen creators do that. We have one of our mods, Mario for sure. He had one land where he did the whole thing in stone, and
Oh
I mean
wow.
just the sheer amount of stone that he used on that, thousands and thousands of it. Or I mean, people really get into the creative aspect of it, and I mean, it is fun collecting these things. You own it and it's yours, and you can play with it. So I don't know. I think that it's just such a cool way to express yourself. I think it's great that you can do it without that too, though. Like this one doesn't even really need items to not to be cool. It's just cool by design, by the flow, that way that the whole course just ebbs and flows. It's awesome. Um, but if they wanted to put a bunch of plants in here and a bunch of decorations on the ground and stuff like that, you could turn it into a completely different, give it a whole different vibe.
Yeah, well, I'm still holding out hope that a creator is going to rebuild like the Two Towers or Mordor or anything from Lord of the Rings, even a castle. Like, I think with the landscaping, you could theoretically do it, right?
Yeah, you could. I mean, there's a couple like technical things that that are not implemented. Like you couldn't make a bridge where you could go underneath it, but you could use items to do that. There are items that kind of that you can either clip through the land, or you can have them bridge across. Like I've created tunnels in mine where out of arches, and if you're creative, you can do some really cool stuff. And that's it's evident like in this plot here. I mean, I I picked this one literally because I thought that it was not just that it was so well done, but the way that they put it together was really clever. I take a lot of my inspiration from our players, because I'm always seeing things like, oh, I wish I would have done that, because I could have made mine a little bit, it would have been such a better way to go about it.
I wonder. I mean, have you guys ever done with a creator like who goes through like a guide, like oh, this is how I built this, and then go through the whole building process? I think it'll be interesting because I think for someone like me who has never really done my own terraforming yet, I have to admit I think I'm afraid, right? I think I'm afraid to like because a lot of I don't know if people appreciate it, but when you get a plot of land, it was like I guess it's procedurally generated and it's very organic and it's meant to look like a natural biome, right? And I also appreciate it. And then I see my neighbors like just flattening out the entire thing, and then I feel like and because I'm not good at design, I feel like I'll lose the aesthetic if I actually touch the ground, right? So and that's why I'm like thinking of getting a completely different location. That's like my experimental plot of land where I'll just do whatever with the tickets. But my core, I want to kind of keep the original aesthetic, even though it's not very usable because it's very uneven. But because I would never be able to recreate that. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like my feeling every time I want to use the ticket and I hold back, just
That would be a
because of
really
that.
interesting idea for like a feature, if we had some kind of randomization feature where you could have a completely organic, where it could go back for, like, into that natural aesthetic. It's not something I've really heard about before, but I could totally see that being a cool feature. But honestly, I think that there's kind of two prevailing mindsets when it comes to creating your land. You have the people that are like, nope, I'm demoing everything and bringing it all the way down to the core of the land, and then we'll see what happens. And
I
then you have,
respect them. That's like just smashing it all down, right? I gotta respect that in a way.
yeah, I mean, and sometimes that's how people's brains work, right? I mean, you have something and you're like, well, I can't see what it's gonna like. It's not, like, I can't see what it's going to look like until I kind of strip everything back and start building. And then, but then, like you say, though, it kind of takes away from the organic look of the land too. So, like, you can obviously see like how that it's very organic. You got like the valleys, and the water is all beautifully put together, and there's random rocks in places, and it just looks like a natural, open, beautiful environment. Whereas this right here is as there's nothing natural about it. It's very much something that was created out of someone's mind, and I mean, but me, I do both ways. I have it where I sometimes I'll go in and I'll just flatten it out, put everything in a corner, and then kind of see what kind of what takes shape. And then other times where I try to use the land, kind of the symmetry and the geometry of the land to kind of to build on that as well. And I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to it. Like you do what feels right to you, and then but you mentioned also about getting land in a different biome, and it reminded me that right now that we are offering lands on the primary. So on the last airdrop that we had, we were only offering on the primary the Tinsel Falls, which is like the snowy area in Gloomy Gulch, and
Hmm.
now we're offering all the biomes open on the primary market. So except for I think Rusty Pikes, I don't think that there's any on sale from Rusty Pikes, but other than that, they're all open. So and that's always my suggestion to a new player when they're joining the game. By the way, they ask, which land should I get? Should I get higher quality this or whatever? Personally, the way that I pick my lands is aesthetics. I want to, if I have to look at it and go there and be excited about it, I want it to be pretty. I want it to have into that. That's what I'm interested in. But everyone plays for different reasons, so that's always why I preface it with, "Hey, this is what I do."
Yeah, I was going to highlight something as well, which is kind of related, right? Like the aesthetics is not just generated for your view at this point of time. The environment is already generated. And the thing that I think most people may not understand in gaming is that if you look at the horizon, you are actually seeing somebody else's land, and even in camera view, you can kind of visit in a way that is scale, right? And that's also something interesting about, we talked about beginning like Web3 gaming, right? Like, a lot of times games, they're, you go to a certain point and then they have to generate, it's new, and it's not, and it's not the same thing other people are seeing if they're going to the same space, right? And if you notice that even when you load into a map, we are all technically running on the same map, but the technology is we kind of are seeing different people. Like I don't know if anyone noticed, I was around Tassel earlier in the previous map. On my screen, I don't see him, but on his screen, I was there. That's kind of how they're optimizing to ensure that you are actually all on the same space, but what you see is just slightly less, so that it's less load on your computer. These are minor details that have gone into a game in order for you to be in the same world. It's a minor thing, but it's a huge thing. So, like, even if you want to buy land, you theoretically can visit the land in game and see if you like the environment. You're buying, it's like buying real estate, right? Um,
Definitely.
and that's something achievable, and it's a lot of work, right? It's not just about blockchain, but it's also about dev work, putting in the time to do that. So and I guess that's also why I don't want to touch the land too much, because I feel like the whole world's being built, and then if I'm building a whole tower just blocking everybody's way in between, like, it's a personal pet peeve. It's not a big deal. I appreciate every creator's work, right? It's just I don't know what to do. So I'm actually trying to look for like an obscure plot, which is like an island with, like, that's a natural biome and it's like all water. It's probably the worst thing for most people to buy because you have very little land, but that's so that I can build and not affect anybody else's organic biome, That's
Yeah.
that was my thought, right?
Yeah, it's funny too, right? Because that's why I say everyone has their own reasons for for where they want to buy and different criteria, because there are some people that just want to buy a piece of land that are kind of away from everyone else, because they just want to do their own thing. They don't want to be intrusive or obstructing anyone else's view or whatever, and that freedom to be able to go and buy a piece of land that's away from everyone is really pretty awesome. Or maybe you want to be right in the middle of it, right? You want the game to feel like when you log in, you want it to feel like there's always people around you. I understand that point of view too. Or maybe you're the kind of guy that just wants to farm, and if you're farming a whole bunch, you pick yours based on the quality of the land. And maybe you don't even care about the aesthetic at all. And I think it's great that it caters to all of those different groups. And you mentioned like loading in and stuff like that. All of these things are being optimized as time goes by. All these features, it's like people don't understand just how early they're in this still. It's still so young, and
Yep.
that means it's pioneering. That means that it's still opening up and becoming. You have a real solid voice, and
Mhm.
I just I feel like that's probably the most exciting thing for me. For instance, I was looking at here. I wanted to bring it up too because you mentioned that. So you can see here now when you click on. So this is land that's being sold by My Neighbor Alice, for instance. And now there's an actual button here that you can click on it. So this wasn't here even just a short time ago, where you could click on the land in game and then go. If you click on that, it'll take you right to that land on the website, give you all the details about it, all sales history, everything. It's very iterative. Like we just keep adding and adding to based on what's important. Obviously, which things are the highest, like that needed to have. There's a lot of work that's involved in this, and it's very complex. So you kind of have to prioritize what comes out first, and it's a whole thing. It's an organic living creature, and from someone who's been around from the very beginning, it's amazing to see where we started and where we are now.
Yeah, and I was also gonna mention, right? I mean, there's a lot of work in terms of grinding resources, and I brought up the golden pass, which I just got, finally bought it.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's yeah, it's cool. Because I want to maximize my resource gathering. That's the main reason, right? But for those of you who haven't gotten it, first purchase you get way more value than what you're paying. So that's really a thank you for those who support the game. It's a low entry, and you get to get all these resources that helps out in your building. And if you don't know where to find it, actually, you can open up your journal and you can see the global shop, and then you can actually buy it there. If you have it already, then you can activate the pass, like what Tassel is showing, right? And
Yeah, you just push P or right on the. Actually, if you look in the upper left-hand corner of my screen, you can see where it says Golden Pass Active. If you push P, it'll just pull up the thing, and it gives you all of the benefits just right here. It tells you 25% extra XP gains, 50% more resource in gathering. This one's huge because you use it for everything. How long you have left on your pass? I've only got 13 days left on mine, but these stack again as well. So let's say you were to buy another pass. If I were to buy another pass right now and then activate it, it would extend this by 30 days. And you mentioned like for the first time a bonus. This one is huge. I mean, the mysterious seed box alone makes it worth it because that's a hundred Alice all by itself if you were to buy it. So it's basically like that's almost like free getting that one, and that's just part of it. Like you get the nameplates, the special emoji emote. There's there's a lot of really cool stuff. I highly suggest that if you're not aware of what the Golden Pass does, that you push P and you read it and look into it because it's definitely worth it.
oh yeah, I mean my inventory is now very stacked. I'm very happy, and I have to admit I haven't reached tier 3 in the game yet. So for tools, so I'm
Oh, nice.
happy to see a whole set of tier 3. That helps a lot, guys.
Oh, that's
it's
funny
it's not
actually. I forgot that
forever,
that
but
was
it's
one of the things
helpful.
that they give. Yeah,
Yeah.
the tools. Yeah, so yeah, that gets you around doing those quests for another couple days.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So just highlighting if you guys are like me and you haven't reached tier 3 yet. That's pretty cool. Um,
Also, one thing I forgot to mention, I just want to, I forgot. So we have a new collection out right now, the Carnival collection. As you can see here, I've got the crazy hair and the clown nose and then stuff. There's new equipables and new placeables in there, and there are some really cool ones. And I think that's only part of the collection, so we might actually have some more coming out sometime soon.
so
There's your
where
a
where
little bit
can
of
we
homework.
get it? Because right now my pig costume is like not as interesting a flex as yours.
You get the so you can craft the carnival collection at the two stations. There's the outer workings table and I can't remember what the other, but there's only the two main stations that you actually craft at. And as long as you have the resources and stuff, you can just craft it. So like this, for instance, this a jacket. This is a jester. I think maybe it's a jester jacket. I can't remember the exact name. It's new. Oh well, you know what? I don't even have to look. I can. Why speculate? The clown blazer and clown trousers. So and yeah, you can get these just by crafting them and putting them on. And this, you can change your hair color too. Like I chose to have the orange because orange is my thing. But yeah, you could have it in green, purple, whatever you want to. There's a lot of customization that you can do just with this alone. And you can see your golden pass active here too, and then your premium account. Also with the collectibles, for instance, if you click on here, this is where you actually activate like your nameplates and stuff. So if you wanted to, you can see that I have that around mine, the frame around that one, or this is your the nameplate for when I'm chatting. That's why it has that on there. So definitely something you guys should check out if you get the golden pass. Alrighty,
All right.
guys. Well, we're getting towards the end of our stream here. I don't want to hold you guys up too long. I know that this is a holiday for some people, and I want to be mindful of your time. I believe that the game night it will be open for one more hour. So if you haven't completed everything and you're still looking for plants, you don't have to feel rushed. I believe that there's still one more hour to go. So even after the stream ends, so you don't have to be in a massive rush or anything, and kind of do it at your own pace. Yeah, and it's been an absolute pleasure. I really, really appreciate you guys joining us and just hanging out and chatting about it. This is my jam. So I just wanted to see if there's anything else that you wanted to share before we go.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, as I always mention, of course, do support the game. I think the game is has a lot of love in it, and I think I want to thank Tassel as well for being here on a holiday himself. I'm also on holiday, but I can't see myself doing anything more than tonight. I think it's been great. Always appreciate everyone's time joining it, and also for having me because I always have a blast every time. I'm learning something new. I'm cozy gaming is not my genre, but so far I've been sticking to this longer than I expected, right? And that's I think something, And for those of you who haven't gotten yourself a golden pass yet, the golden pass you can find it in your inventory. You can go to the in-game store and not the marketplace. It's not a marketplace item. It's just to help you with gameplay. That's why it's in game. And yeah, get cracking, man. I want to see Two Towers or something from Lord of the Rings. Please
I know,
invite me.
right? Yeah,
Please
me too.
invite
That
me.
would be
Please
amazing.
invite me.
And just to follow up with that, if you, I believe there's a task on the leaderboard for getting the golden pass too. So if you are someone that's participating in the airdrop and you're having a fun time, we're giving away 100,000 Alice for people that are competing on the leaderboard. It's already good value. So if you're going to be purchasing one anyway, you might as well get some extra points and jumping up on the leaderboard too. So
Yeah.
I
And I
completely
did have one last thing to share
perfect.
before we become an end. So, for those of you who are looking to purchase land for gameplay, of course, there, if you notice, some of you, there is a new feature which allows for payment with credit card, right? And it's still an improvement, I would say, in terms of like making it a bit more smooth. And if you face any issues, just know that we're working on it. But it's just really to make it easier for those of you who just want to get in and you just want to purchase a land for your own development. The features there, and it's being improved. And if there's any feedback on it, you can also come back to us about it. But it's being improved. So just assume it's beta. It's not perfect yet, guys, but it's getting better because we're trying to answer to some feedback we had. But yeah, just to highlight that is an option there, so you can check it out on the marketplace, and especially if you see it's on the Chromia land. The benefit of that is it's immediately playable, right? The moment you purchase it with the ones on Chromia, it's immediately payable. You don't have to do like a bridging and none of that. You can get to gaming immediately, right? So these are like quality of life features, but there's so much development going on. So, but rest assured, funds are always safe, and we try to make it as easy as possible, right? So it's there. Hope you try it out if you are looking to explore and build us something from Lord of the Rings. I think I said it 3 times, guys. I'm serious. I really want this.
You own a land too. I mean, you could try your.
I'm gonna try. I need to buy. I'm looking for one now that is like in the middle of nowhere, right? So that I don't disrupt the flow and
Yeah,
try
what
to
was it?
help
The
try building.
Southlands? It wasn't from the movie where in the Southlands it's a Mordor, right? But before all
Yeah,
that, so
yeah, yeah,
you need
yeah.
to find the aesthetic that makes it look right.
Uh maybe I should do a bounty and get someone to. I know I'm not the best creator. I appreciate creators. I'm not the best one. But I think that would be something very interesting, right? It's to be able to do that. So, Maybe it'd be interesting if I put up like an Alice bounty from my own account, right? I'll be like, hey guys, if you build it and you're first to show it, we'll get like maybe 500 Alice or something. That'd be a cool thank you. Let me think about it, guys. I might do it, right? If you want me to give a bounty to build something, please like comment like crazy in this particular, on X or on YouTube. And then if I see enough of it, I'll put like a bounty out, right? How does that sound? I think it'll be fun, right? Just a bit of fun for someone to, incentivize you to build something cool in game.
Definitely, yeah. No, I think that that's a really cool idea. I mean, what I would do personally is since we have the ability to share the lands, I would probably use my homestead, and I would share it with someone that is interested in building it, and kind of task them or challenge them to do it, because then afterwards, when obviously it's your land or whatever, then you'd own it forever.
Well, I mean, I don't need to own it. I want them to build it. I'll visit your land, or the creators' land, and we'll promote their land because the creators deserve all the credit, right? I just want to visit, guys. I just want to visit. That's all. I want to visit,
Like
right?
from Field of Dreams, right? If you build it, they will come.
Maybe, yeah, that's a good way of looking at it.
But yeah, no, thanks so much for joining me, George. I really appreciate it. This has been such a fun time, and as you say, there's a lot of different functionality that's being added to the game all the time, and not just to the game, but like you say, to the website for purchasing lands, quality of life features, and different things to make it easier for so there's less barriers in there, and that we're always mindful of getting people in and to growing our community, because we really love having you guys here. Thanks again for joining us on a holiday. If it's not a holiday for you, we still appreciate it. But yeah, I that this is the end of the game night one, and I'm really hoping that we can see you for game night two, which will be coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll be doing another the kind of not same type of event, but kind of similar style. So I really hope to see you there. So, all right, guys, thank you, and I hope to see you soon.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. See ya. Bye
And good
bye.
night. Bye.